Sega Dreamcast. Perhaps one of my favorite gaming consoles of all time, that I still own with all my glow-in-the-dark DBZ stickers. I remember the day that I begged and pleaded my grandmother to buy me the system, and she did, bless her soul. I always wanted a Saturn, but I could never get my hands on one. I was a Nintendo guy, so Sega was kind of an uncharted grounds for me. Aside from a Game Gear, which consumed way too many batteries, I never owned anything Sega, and I was eager to take control of the famous Blue Hedgehog. No longer did I want to experience thrills of a Sega console in the household of a neighborhood friend. I wanted my own. I didn't want to stand in line at Electronic Boutique and watch somebody play. I had to have this. The Sega Dreamcast was an amazing console in my eyes. Some may even say that it was ahead of its time. Owning a unique library of games, the Dreamcast had its own share of great RPGs, some of which are actually amongst my favorite of all time. Today I present to you my top 5 Dreamcast RPGs. Remember, this is my opinion, so please don't be offended. And also remember, if you enjoy RPGs as much as I do, and if you're a big geek when it comes to gaming like myself, remember to subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. Number 5. Time Stalkers. Though it may have not been an incredibly monumental game, Time Stalkers was a game that I frequently rented at Blockbuster long ago. Extremely different opposed to what I saw in other RPGs, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Yet again, another game that I can recall playing from the start again and again. You begin as main character Sword, odd name if you ask me, and you traverse from dungeon-filled dungeon, both eradicating and befriending all foes alike. It owned a very colorful cast of characters, and I really enjoyed the score. A lot of the music still lives on in my head. There weren't many RPGs on the Dreamcast that I could remember being great, so when I found this, I settled for it. Though I fell endlessly in this game, I enjoyed it, and I always will remember playing this game non-stop. If you own a Dreamcast and you have yet to play this RPG, I highly recommend it. It is worth your time, and I still own this, and I will never forget my adventures throughout the tale of Time Stalkers. Number 4. Phantasy Star Online. Coming in number 4, we have Phantasy Star Online. Now, much of my time, well actually none of it, was invested in the online feature of this game. My dial-up connection would not dare allow me to. This game was so much fun, especially when you played it with a friend spectating. I can remember high school nights I played this game with an old friend alongside me, laughing our asses off because the very first batch of enemies, the weird-looking wolf things, would straight up annihilate us, by themselves. Man, those guys were tough. But regardless of the difficulty curve, Phantasy Star Online is a game I won't forget. I always thought that RPGs were awesome, but to play with friends online, that's crazy. It made it more enjoyable. Straying away from the turn-based RPG style battle, Phantasy Star allowed you free movement, cool weapon combos, and much more. I really hope that we haven't seen the end of Phantasy Star Online. If you haven't played this classic, give it a try. Number 3. Skies of Arcadia. Coming at number 3, we have Skies of Arcadia. I won't deny that the only true pirates that I'm into are the ones from Pirates of the Caribbean, but these pirates aren't too bad themselves. Again, another quality game that offered much innovation in the combat system that has gained it much popularity. Arcadia was a joy of an experience. Your weapons glow different colors, and depending on which color is currently in use determines what properties your attack will hold when battling foes.
Your petty little tricks won't work on us.
We loved this idea, and it made the combat all the more enjoyable. Not only did you get to fight on land, you could take flight and have airship battles. How often do you get to do that in a game? This game was so good that in fact, it got a remake on the GameCube. Though scarce of great RPG games, unlike its rival the PlayStation, this game is not one to be looked over and is most certainly worthy of joining your RPG collection. So take helm as Vicey and friends, and soar the skies in this classic tale, Pirates. Number 2. Evolution 2. Taking number 2, we have Evolution 2. First and foremost, I love this game. From the very first moment I laid eyes on the Game Informer article that showed stills of this game, I knew I had to play it. You play the role of Mag and fight your way through enemy-plagued dungeons. Though I utterly despise dungeon-type RPGs with several flaws, this game is an exception. The combat was awesome. Each character had their own skills, and some of them were so cool visually. It's a real shame that this series has expired because I believe that it was an original, and despite the dungeon crawling aspect of it, I am still so fond of it. I consider this a Dreamcast classic and suggest you to give it a try. Number 1. Grandia 2. Coming at number 1, we have Grandia 2. I played the shit out of this game. There's never been a game aside from Final Fantasy VII that I played over and over again from beginning to end. I know everything there is to know about this game. Join Ryudo, sword for hire, and one of the coolest lead characters ever, and his badass partner Sky, as he traverses far and wide to save the land with a party of colorful characters, all of whom are great. Grandia 2 was a fantastic tale, more than worthy of this spot. The combat is where it really shines. Grandia's battle system is like no other RPG, and it is one that fans should not overlook.
Here goes! Flying Tensei Ken!
Right, it was so cool. Overall, this is a great story that I really enjoyed from start to finish, and as I always say, they just don't make games like this anymore. Grandia is a marvelous series, and I wish that it would return because I have been enamored by it ever since I played the first demo on the PS1. If you can manage to get your hands on this game, I highly recommend it. This game rocks, and it is definitely a classic. Okay, so those were my top 5 Dreamcast RPGs. What are your favorite Dreamcast RPGs? Feel free to share your thoughts below, and be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for tuning in. Till next time, stay tuned for more RPGs. Over and out.